Hi everybody, welcome back to Markers and Monsters. As always, I'm your host Colin, and today for the Doctor Who-Athon, talking about Sontarans. Yes, everybody's favorite potato-headed militaristic warmongers, the Sontarans. As you can see, I'm just kind of fleshing it in there with the pencil, and like I said, these guys have like domed potato heads, and I want to show him holding up like a cool looking gun there. Very warlike and ready for action and adventure and whatnot. Now, these guys appeared way back in 1973 in a third Doctor story called The Time Warrior, which actually, in addition to being the first appearance of a Sontaran, is also the first appearance of Sarah Jane Smith, who is a long-running and fan favorite companion for a number of reasons. She's great. We'll talk about her another time. But first appears in that episode. It's also the first time that the planet Gallifrey is mentioned as being the Doctor's home planet. Up until then, for 10 years apparently, nobody knew where the Doctor was from. Well, this episode says he's from Gallifrey. Also, in this episode, it's made mention of the Who-Athons, who are the Sontarans' like ancient enemies. And Who-Athon appears in a later serial, Horror of Fang Rock, in 1977. So, a lot of firsts in that episode. Basically, it is about a Sontaran who crash lands in like medieval Earth, with castles and knights and swords and stuff. And he's using technology to beam scientists from the 20th century back in time so that they can fix his ship and he can go home. So, pretty interesting why he didn't, choose a time even further in the future or whatever. But, hey, there you go. So Dr. John Pertwee, third Doctor, has to travel back and stop him. Sarah Jane stows away. Fun stuff. After that, the Sontarans appear in a number of episodes throughout Classic Who and New Who. Very cool stuff. Plus, they're in a bunch of spin-off stories. They have cameos in other adventures. They're in audio dramas, games, comics, books, all kinds. They're a popular and interesting foe. The Sontarans all hail from the planet Sontar, which is very dense. Gravity is very high there, so that these Sontarans grow very low to the ground. They're short and stocky. Kind of like space dwarves, maybe kind of sort of in a way, if you can imagine the short and stocky aspect of them, although they're usually still a good over 5 feet tall, probably almost like 6 feet some of the bigger ones get, so not that short, but still pretty short. Their culture is entirely militaristic. They love nothing more than war and warfare and going out and killing people and getting involved in various wars and conflicts and stuff. So everything's devoted to that. The ideals that they hold the most highly in their society are like discipline and honor and military strategy, stuff like that. So, yeah, they're space warrior guys that roam the stars, and they're in all kind of different conflicts and stuff like that. They're also all male. None of them are born. They're all like grown in clone vats. So pretty neat. So the Sontarans often are very interchangeable. Like one or, they all look the same pretty much. They all have these weird like potato looking bulbous bullet shaped heads, which I'm coloring in now coincidentally. So kind of a fleshy color here that I'm doing for that and getting those in. Another great Sontaran moment is in, I believe it's their second appearance, and it involves the fourth Doctor, who goes to Earth, and he finds that a single Sontaran is there studying the weaknesses of the people on Earth to find out how to kill them most efficiently and stuff. And to that end, he's kidnapped a group of people, or is trying to, and he's doing experiments to see, like, how much weight can they hold before they're crushed to death and stuff like that. And if you look in the upper right-hand portion of the drawing, there's kind of like an Epcot-looking dome. Well, that's supposed to be the Sontarans' like little ship from that episode floating around up there. I'll be coloring in here real shortly in the video, so take a look at that. And fun stuff. Another great Sontaran is Strax. In an 11th Doctor episode, we are introduced to Strax, who is under Sontaran punishment for doing something wrong. So he is forced to be a nurse and take care of the wounded, which goes against everything in a Sontaran's nature, as their nature is just to kill. But he becomes an ally of the Doctor's, and during a big battle, he is apparently killed, but is just wounded instead, or brought back to life somehow. And he helps out Madame Vastra and Jenny. Madame Vastra is a Silurian, a lizard person, and Jenny's a regular person. The two of them are married. And they have adventures and solve mysteries and stuff in Victorian England, with Strax being their butler. And this character, he's very comedic and very fun to watch. You see they have that potato-shaped head with that big collar thing. Well, Strax has that, but he just dresses up like a butler, with the collar and a tie and stuff. But it's this big wide thing, like the collar he kind of has in this picture, but just with a tie and a suit. And he does butler stuff like ironing clothes and laundry. And anytime any kind of conflict or problem arises, he immediately jumps to the most violent solution possible. Even for the simplest thing, I think the door's stuck. And his solution will be something like, we should kick it down and then we should blow it up with dynamite just for good measure so it doesn't stick again. Goofy stuff like that. But fits with the Sontaran culture and stuff, and it shows how villains can be both entertaining and at the same time, very ruthless and stuff. The Sontarans are not foes to be taken lightly, but at the same time, their seriousness, it can be a source of humor, which is a lot of fun that the Doctor Who writers have. Now, as you can see, I've kind of just inked in the face there. Very simple, kept some shadows there just for definition. And now I'm putting in this gun here. I got to tell you, I had a blast drawing this cool gun. I looked for some reference photos. And so this is kind of just a conglomeration of a bunch of different things. It's not perfectly accurate to a Sontaran weapon, but I had a lot of fun putting it together and drawing it and stuff like that. So that's a real blast. I like it. So yeah, Sontarans, very cool enemy, very old enemy too of the Doctors, dating back to, like I said, the Third Doctor era. So it's always fun when enemies that appear in one episode end up coming back again and again and again. I think that gives the universe a very cool look and feel to it within Doctor Who. All right, let me tap in these stars. You guys have seen this a million times, but I think this is the first time I'm doing it for the Doctor Who-Athon, so with the white gel pen just to add that spacey background in there. Let's take a look at the scan. Awesome. Now, this isn't supposed to be a specific Sontaran, just a Sontaran, but like I said, clones, so they're all pretty much identical and stuff like that. Very fun stuff. So, the Doctor Who Marathon for 2017 is reaching its zenith. The new episodes will start this Saturday at 9 p.m. on BBC. I'm super pumped and super looking forward to it. I hope you guys are too, and I hope you have fun. Oh, and also stop by my Etsy shop, where all of these marker drawings and more will be up if you want to purchase them. All right, until next time, Sontar! Ha!